Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal. I'm Bobbi Pominville, and I'm your reporter on the arts. Today, I'm at the Hudson Senior High School, and I have viewed a rehearsal for Les Mis, or Les Misérables. And I just enjoyed it so much, I have to tell you. Oh, we'll talk more about that later, though, because I want to introduce you to my guest. I want to welcome Kari Heisler.
Thank you so much for having me.
She's been on the show once before, but that was a while ago. It was Sound of Music, you reminded me. Now, this particular musical, when I've gone around viewing things and so on, I think it's more difficult than a lot of them, and that includes the music. But I do love it so, so much. And so that's why I said to you, I want to interview you and I want to promote this. Now, it starts November 10 through 12, that's a weekend. And the next weekend, 17 through 19, I just got my tickets today for a Sunday at 2 p.m. And I do want you to talk a little bit about how you get tickets.
Right, so it's an online world, so you can just go right onto hudsonraiders.org and you can click what show you want and what seats you want, so you'll know exactly an auditorium where you can have your reserved seats. So yeah, our shows are the 10th, 11th, and 12th, and we're on Fridays and Saturdays at 7, Sundays at 2, and then 17th, 18th, 19th, the same thing. Tickets are $15 for adults, $10 for students, and again, they can just go right to hudsonraiders.org and get them ahead of time online and not stress and worry about it. We do sell tickets at the door if we're not sold out an hour before, so if you want to just come get them live, or you realize you're home and have an evening free and want to just show up to our box office right outside the high school, they'll sell them at the door if we're not sold out.
And a lot of my friends in my clubs in town and church and all of that, they want to come, and I know they're a little nervous about the online, but I found it quite easy.
Good, yes,
So-
right? You just go right to the district, hudsonraiders.org. There's literally a picture of Les Mis. You just click on it and it brings you right there. It's very simple.
That's what I did. And I have to say now it's all in my phone. The tickets are in my phone, and there's a, what do you call it, a code.
QR code. Yep.
That's it. And I've got that saved. So when I come in November, all I have to do is show that.
Yeah, don't even have to print out a ticket or anything.
Easy.
It really is.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about, Kari. I just could keep you for an hour. Okay, so the story of Les Mis takes place in 19th century France. And it's the story of Jean Valjean. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, but it's French, which is not one of my languages. And he is imprisoned and breaks out. Now, if I say anything incorrect, you're going to help me. His enemy, Javert, I think it's called the police commissioner, has vowed to find him at all costs. And it's something that you just feel the hate for this man. And then you have the sympathy for Jean Valjean. But how does the story unfold from that point?
Right, so it really is, at the beginning of the story, Jean Valjean has stole a loaf of bread to try to, his sister's son was starving, right? So this is a time when, he stole because he had to keep someone alive, not because he was necessarily a bad person, right? This is like he's making that mistake and he paid for it in prison for 17 years, right? And when he gets out, Javert is like vowed to find him, right? And so he spends his life he comes to a bishop and he goes to steal from the bishop, and the bishop says, I'm giving this to you, and you need to turn your life around and turn your life over. And it's really what switches it for Jean Valjean, and he then goes to live a life of not crime, and even though Javert is hunting him, right? So this whole story is he thinks he's hunting the bad guy, and in the end, towards the end, when they meet up again. They meet a couple different times and get in some fights, and Jean Valjean gets away, a few different times because he's kind of in disguise. And years later, he's now the mayor of the town, and he's just has a man of just, kind of revered, and he owns a business, and just he's now wealthy, and he has helped his child raise Cosette, right? So, and when Javert finds out that it's Jean Valjean, he can't reconcile the idea that that somebody can change and live their life after they were a criminal in the beginning. And so it's really a story of redemption, big time for Jean Valjean. It's just a beautiful story through different characters that kind of all have that theme. And then how does Javert handle that?
Yes. And oh, I was so taken by it the very first time. I couldn't quite follow the whole story. And I thought, you need another one. You have to go to another production and another one. And I read about the story over and over. But now I heard that you're doing a school edition.
Right. So yeah, when we looked at wanting to do Les Mis, there you can do the full version or you can do a high school edition, and really there's not a ton of difference. You know, some people are like, oh, have they changed the story? Or the characters or the songs sung in different keys or things more like high school accessible? It's really not. It's the same adult themes in there. There's people down on their luck. There's people that have ill repute in jobs, and a lot of sickness and death and just misery. I mean, Les Misérables. It's right. You think how is this an uplifting story? Right? These are like miserable people, just like in prostitute. I mean, just really deep, dark stuff. Yeah. But I think the story's so beautiful again about kind of that redemption piece. For a lot of those characters, and so even though you've got that depth of story, it's a tough story, and which is why I think a lot of high schools don't tackle Les Mis. And I just felt like I've loved this show since I saw it when I was in college in London as well. You did, yeah. And the music is incredibly beautiful. Oh. It's difficult because the entire show is sung, which is not something we've ever done here at Hudson High School, right? So you have to tell the story through the music, and our characters have been working so hard on how you do that, and everything's like how do you kind of speak, sing, and recitative, that there's different spots where you're not necessarily doing everything in rhythm, and it's such a growing and learning experience for those students, and to kind of just delve into these characters and to do all this musically. So it's been tough to tackle, and I just want people to know that it is definitely not our Cinderella and Annie, the last couple of shows we've done, because it definitely has, darker, deeper themes. There's some language in there, right? Yes. We're cleaning up what we can, but we want to be true to the characters and the story too, and not change things just to change them. Right. And so we think that the story is important and the characters are beautiful, and I think people appreciate it. It's probably not something that you want to bring like young elementary kids to, or a big family show. Yeah, no. Right?
That's right. And in fact, you have this on your website where you've said adult themes. Mm-hmm. You've told people about that. And then you've also, don't you have some kind of a limit for the age? Right. I think it said something.
Okay, I don't remember 18? If there's an age limit or not. I mean, I would certainly, I have 6 children and another one on the way, right? My kids will be coming to see it, but not everyone's going to, they have siblings in it and we're directing it, right? So they'll come, but not everybody wants to bring like a 7, 8, 9-year-old, I would think for sure I'd be comfortable with middle school and high school, but every parent needs to make their own decision on what they're comfortable with their kids seeing. Yeah.
And a lot of us that are in music have exposed our children to things like that. I know you have. Mm-hmm. And, maybe I could just mention this here. You told me you have 3 sons in the production.
I do, yes.
You can brag a little now. I want you to tell me about that.
Right. So, I'm super proud of my kids and all my high school kids as well, because I just feel like they're all my kids and part of my family as well. Right. We have 63 kids in the cast of Les Mis, one of the largest productions we've had at Hudson High School. So not only do we have 63 kids on stage, but that doesn't count our 30 some that are helping with set and stage managing and lights and sound. So we have about 100 students involved in this production, which is incredible. Yes, and so my oldest 3 sons are in the show, along with there's 6 middle school cast members and then 57 high school cast members as well. Just incredibly talented kids, and they're taking a ton of their time to really put on the best production they possibly can.
And the voices I heard today, and I know they're improving every time they do a rehearsal. And I had no idea that was your son up there singing Jean Valjean. But I was like, the voice is so perfect. And he can really belt. I can tell that. And of course, all those things are starting to fall into place now, because you keep reminding them now, don't look at the floor. You know,
Yes.
you've got an audience out there.
Right.
But you did everything just so perfectly. And it was
Casting-
fun for me.
Casting is one of the most difficult parts of the show. Just really feeling like where are these kids, right? Because they're all beautiful. They have great voices, right? So it's like, what character do you see them in, and what fits together? And it's always stressful. But then when you see it, from our first rehearsal, I had a rehearsal with Fantine, who sings "I Dreamed a Dream," and I cried while she sang it at the very first rehearsal. And I thought, like, you just know that this was just how it was supposed to be cast, and it all works out. So yeah,
And that's how it affects me.
Yes.
I mean, it's terrible, but I'm in the theater with my Kleenex. And the second time, I thought I was going to bring a whole box because I thought, you're going to need it.
yeah,
And then when Cosette sings,
yeah.
that always touches me so
Yeah,
much.
it's, I will not get through it without crying. Yeah, I will
You
cry
won't
every
get
day.
through it because there's too much meaning there, and there's too much emotional going on the stage. So I think you've got that well said, so people will know about the themes. So wonderful, good, did that, good job on that. Now, the music, I don't know if this is the correct pronunciation. I say Schoenberg. But anyway, Schoenberg the music is exquisite. The first time I heard it, I was taken. It was just so beautiful. And of course, I told you some of this, my favorite songs. Well, you did it today. Do you hear the people sing? I didn't hear I Dreamed a Dream, but
Not
I'll
yet.
hear it when I come. And, well, I could go on and on. But tell me about how that music affects you.
Right? Every character, you know, like I was saying, Fantine sings "I Dreamed a Dream," right? It's so beautiful, right? Her character doesn't make it very long into the show. You think, oh my gosh, you know, but every character has their moments, right? It doesn't matter if they're in 1, 2, 3 scenes. And so many kids are featured in this show. Guys especially, a lot of different solos and a lot of features, but even our girls too. All of our main characters are just incredible singers. The music, every song, right? You come away thinking, well, that's my favorite. Well, that's my, every night. Even just, there's a little one where women come in at the end and they do this turning, they sing this turning. And it's after the barricades, after the big fight, the battle, right? And they come in with these candles and sing the song. It's one of my favorite moments of the show. And it's not even like this big song.
It's
like,
not a major thing.
Right?
But
Not like Javert's Stars and Jean Valjean's Bring Him Home and Fantine's I Dreamed a Dream, Eponine's On My Own. Right.
that's a tearjerker right there too.
And the end of Act 1, One Day More, that song, I get goosebumps
love
every time I hear One Day More. Just everybody coming up together, ready to battle. And it's just, the music is incredible. Every song, it's one of the things I look at when I'm picking a musical is, you know, what's the body of music? And if I love every song, I'm sold.
Well,
Because you sing it and hear it for a long time.
that's right. And you know, once you attend something like that, it sticks in your brain and you're humming it, you're singing it. And I think that's just one of my favorite things is when I'm going, when I'm getting up or whatever, or even at night. Sometimes I'm singing in my dreams. And it is kind of like that. So let's see. Oh, well, before we talk about the holiday concert,
Yes.
did you want to say more about the crew?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned, right? Because I already talked about there's 100 kids involved and behind the scenes that are not going to get all the applause at the end for the overtures and the standing ovations and everything, right? So they're doing so much work. And one of the incredible things about Hudson High School is our crew of people helping me direct, my husband Rico, Ryan DeLaCroix, our tech director, Jamie Palbicki, the other choir director doing the music with me, right? Our team is incredible and our parents are incredible. If you come, we're working on our set, it's still a work in progress, but the amount of parents that are here painting, I left last night, we had parents that are painting, they're here on the weekends, they're building all of this and it's volunteer. We have parents that are costuming, 63 kids in multiple costumes, right? They're here almost every day. And I can't thank enough all the people behind the scenes that are really making this come to life for these kids, because it's, just an opportunity and experience of a lifetime for these kids that are involved.
It is. And the crew is so important because I know when I was teaching elementary music, a lot of kids didn't really be on the stage singing. They didn't want to do that, but they would. And they got used to it. but they would also want to help me. And they wanted, if I said I needed 3 kings, and of course, one time I had 4. Another time I had 2 because one of them got sick. But somebody else, the second king said, I'll sing that part, I know it.
The show must go on.
It was like, I had such fun with that in elementary school because I felt like kids got involved. That's what you want.
Yes, right.
And who knows, next year or some year, they might want to do something like that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's a beautiful thing that you thanked them and you really gave them their due there.
Yeah, I can't say enough about it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see the show. Now, I did wonder about the holiday concert.
Yes.
What's going on there?
So yes, we'll be having our holiday concert on Sunday and Monday, December 10th and 11th.
Okay.
We'll have a 5 o'clock and 7:30 concert, so 4 concerts like we've done in the past, I don't know how many years, with another fabulous orchestra. All of our choir students have been rehearsing since our fall concert was done. So I think October 10th, we started Christmas music and our holiday music and our Vivaldi, right? And so they're getting into the music and working really hard on that. Tickets are going to go on sale to the general public on Friday, November 17th. Friday, November 17th.
Okay, so you've
That'll
got
be
4
online.
concerts, and it's the second weekend
Of December.
of December. So lots of opportunities. You know, the people that live in this town are part of your audience. And they're all talking about these things. And I really like that because the word is spread. And I hope that you continue to do these high quality things, Kari.
Thank you. We just have talented students that work so hard and people behind the scenes with everything. And so, yeah, it's my 20th year here and 20th show that I've been involved in. I can't believe how time flies. And just the holiday concerts too and shows. Once people come once, they come every year, right? They're like, I can't miss a musical. I can't miss a show. I can't miss a holiday concert.
Oh,
Because
exactly.
it's the start of the holiday season for them. It's so important for alum who come back too, that we're part of that. That's what, we call it home for the holidays because we want them to feel like they're coming back home with us.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing too when they come up on the stage and they sing a song together.
Yes.
But what did you say about Vivaldi?
Yes, we're doing Vivaldi pieces, one of our masterpieces this year. Yeah, the Domine Fili Unigenite. Yeah,
Oh,
it's beautiful.
I love that one.
Yes, and of course we always have our first Noel, which is our students' favorite. And this year they picked the closer, so we're bringing back a Do You Hear What I Hear for our closer. So yeah, yes, great music as always. Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's so fun for me because I left about 22 years ago and I've, watched your career and you've done such a good job.
Thank you.
And I can't stop going because it's too much fun to see the kids and the students and how they improve and all that. And I'm a fan of your swing choir too.
Thank you.
And of
Yes.
course, your other group.
Oh yes, our Hudson High Harmony, our a cappella group that we go
Oh,
up. Yes.
And wait a minute, the girls' choir.
Oh yes, I conduct the bel canto, freshman, soprano, alto, women's choir, and then our upperclassmen chanteuse.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work with them.
Not to, I don't want to slight any of the other groups, but I happen to have you here, and it's so much fun to
You
hear.
can brag
all that.
about my girls. That's fine.
We have to
yes.
brag.
Yeah.
That's where I started too. Okay, so that kind of covers what I had. I don't know if you want to say anything else or if you feel we covered it all.
No, I just want to thank you for coming and take the time. I'm so excited
Yes.
for community members to come and just support music and arts here in Hudson. They're so supportive and to see all the hard work that our kids have put in. So weekends of November 10th and November 17th, we hope to see you at the show.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
And I do want to say that we'll show a little bit of a rehearsal on cable channel 15. River Channel's another name for it. And this particular show is called Western Wisconsin Journal, and it does appear on YouTube. So you can also get it that way. But I do want to thank you, and thank you again for what you do here at the school.
My pleasure.
I'm totally in awe of your abilities and your teaching and all you put into your work here.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
All right.
it. Thanks,
And
Helen.
I'm going to thank the audience for watching today.